Hello and welcome to yet another race in the Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight tournament. Yes, that was the correct name for the game. The match we have here today is between Sebk and Nyaki. And commentating this race for you is me, Dream Fox, and
Also me, Matos Machine.
we are. The race is going to start real soon. Uh. And yeah, I hope everyone is having a great day because we're going to witness some epic Momo gaming here. Sebk is has a really good PB on the leaderboards, but I think he is a bit rusty. Um, Nyaki, I haven't seen her play as much, but it's a Momodora race. It's going to be some epic Momo gaming, and that is always fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this because it's been a while since our last match, and so it's cool to come back into this, progressing some more.
Yeah, and this match will allow two more matches to be scheduled after this, and so yeah, it will lead to. This is how epic Momo gaming works. It's one match leads to more matches, and that is the true epic Momo gaming.
Everyone, the Grove, the they're right at the beginning of the run too, and yeah, we're gonna see with in we're gonna see them. There's doing some.
It seems
The
like
basic
your microphone is not picking up everything you're saying. It is like breaking off or something. But yeah, we are here at the beginning of the grove. It is the first area of the run. It is a lovely little place with lots of imps. It's a calm area, and it's at the start of the game. Like your main form of movement will be rolling. Rolling is faster than just running, and you're also invulnerable and can roll through enemies while it happens, which is very useful both for speed and for mobility and the defensive options as well. You also start with a jump and a double jump from the get-go, which is very handy. Then you have a bow that you can use to shoot enemies, and you have a nice little melee combo with your leaf. You might see them hit bells at certain times in the run. That is this game's save point. You refresh your health, and you also refresh item uses, and we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, this is the grove. There are two main objectives here in the grove. The first is to make your way through it and progress in the game, but also you want to gather 80 money, which you can see in the top left corner beneath the health bar. That is because after this area is done, and they're already at the boss here, that money will be used to purchase an item that will speed up further sections of the game. So yeah, first the boss here, it's Edea. There is a quick kill that both runners are going to go for. Sebk got it. Nyaki did not get it, but did get a nice amount of damage. There is some weird interaction with the Edea's Pearl when she does that lunging attack she started out with, and releasing your arrows at a specific time. That just sometimes, like if you do it at a specific timing, she just dies, which is very handy. And killing a boss in this game without taking any damage results in you getting a special boss item. From Edea, you get her pearl, which adds a poison property to your arrows. And after that, you also saw them buy the crystal seed from the merchant in Karst City, which is a usable item that increases your damage by 50% for a short duration. And as I said earlier, is that every time you save, you refresh your items. So while it says that it has one use right now, if you use it and then save, you will have refreshed the uses. And every active item is like that in this game. So yeah, it's basically Dark Souls Estus flasks, but for every usable item, which makes them, yeah, makes it so that you don't second guess yourself. Like, when do I need to use it? Do I need to save this for the final boss? Like, why not use it here and at the final boss? It's a very nice system.
Yeah, and
I'm
notably that Nyaki went the best right before this, so she should be safe if she here. She can.
Yeah, and Sebk was lucky enough to not get a dive on the Lubella fight. Let's hope that Nyaki also has good luck here, because Lubella can decide that it is summer season, pool season, and just take a dive and not be able to get hit for a while. But unfortunately, she gets hit by one attack and decides to reset, because the item that you get from this boss fight against Mocha and Lubella is a very useful one. It's the Bachman patch. It spawns a lot of Bach blocks from the top of the screen. They do a nice bit of damage, and they are also used for a skip later on in the run. So missing out on this item is not good. And Sebk is going through the subterranean graves. This area has water physics and bats. That's the two main things about this area. Uh, it is the water physics are kind of nice, but when you are swimming, you're moving very slowly. But rolling is still very fast. So you want to be rolling as much as possible. And it seems like, okay, Sebk is back. Luckily, we only missed Sebk going through some screens with lots and lots of spikes. Spikes in this game are an instant kill, no matter how much health you have. Okay, that is a lie. Any health amount that you can obtain through normally playing this game is not enough to survive a spike hit. So they are instant kills. So moving or traversing this area and avoiding the spikes can be quite dangerous. Because the one mistake means death, and you will have to go back to the last time you saved. And Nyaki managed to get through Lubella finally, which is really nice, which means that she is also in the subterranean graves. That's in the Oh yeah, one thing that they are doing as well is you can combine the roll and the jump inputs at the same. If you do them at the same time, you will do well. It's an unintended thing where you get a roll and a jump at the same time, and we call it a roll jump. That is very useful for movement and dodging things at the same time. And here we have Seb fighting the third boss of the run, Derelict Frida. Frida is a bird that has lasers and can spawn dogs and also peck you, which can be quite annoying. But Seb is doing some nice. He's handling it nicely.
Oh, a little bit risky there with the dogs. Not. Ooh.
Yeah, the dogs are scary. When they spawn, like if you're going for the melee fight against Frida, they can throw you off completely. And Seb was just a pixel or so away from hitting both of the dogs, because he hit one of the dogs and stunned one, but the other one went for the kill.
Yeah, and he also missed earlier in the sequence. Missed. So, fortunately, looked like he was improvising a little. Got on.
It seems like your microphone is still not picking up everything. I'm not sure if it's too sensitive or like if the threshold for activation is set too high or something. But yeah, Nyaki is only a little bit behind, and she is also on her way to Frida, as Seb is doing a second attempt at fighting Frida. The item you get from Frida is a really nice item. It's an item that causes a magical explosion around you, which does a nice chunk of damage to anything it hits. And that is kind of how like bosses go in this round. You do one boss and you get a nice item that makes you more powerful, which makes the next boss easier. So if you do not get one item, then it makes, getting the next item harder. So if you lose one item, there is a lot bigger chance that you're going to miss out on a later item. So you really want to make sure that you can do the fights. Nyaki is opting for a more safer strategy, where you sit in a corner and shoot arrows at Frida. It is a very safe strategy, because as long as, like, if Frida only moved, like, Frida won't move far enough to move into you. Instead, she will stop right outside of pecking distance and just try to peck at you, but she won't reach, and you can just sit in the corner and shoot arrows. And Nyaki gets that quite well.
It's a pretty nice, easy strat for new players too. So if you're like wanting to get into this game, that's kind of the strat you should go for at first.
Yeah, it is very risk-free and chill to use, because the only thing you have to watch out for is Lubella using her big laser attack. But that one is clearly telegraphed and easy to react to. And Seb is now entering a refight against against Lubella. This is the second fight against Lubella. She has the same attacks as the first boss, or as the first time rather you encounter her, but they are now more advanced and slightly more difficult to deal with. And this and the final boss are the only two bosses in the run that you do not need to defeat them perfectly without getting hit, because the item you get from this boss fight isn't helpful in the speedrun. So you can take some damage during the fight and still continue on, because it is just how it works out. And now Sebk has entered the best part of the run. You are turned into a cat. As a cat, you are smaller, you are faster, you jump higher, but most importantly, you are cuter. So as a cat, you can go through small corridors and whatnot that you could not go through before as human. But you cannot climb ladders, you cannot shoot arrows, and you cannot use items, except for the cat sphere that Sebk just picked up, which allows you to switch between cat and human forms at will. Nyaki's got pretty low during the Lubella 2 fight, but
Yeah, I was
managed.
a little worried for her, but she pulled it through. She finished the fight, and even if she had died there, that's like one of the best fights you can die on, because the save's right there.
Yeah, that is very true. And now Sebk is going to do a small detour here and just quickly look into a room inside of the monastery. That is because he will visit a room that has a save bell in it, and after that he will go back to the start of the game and get a upgrade that will allow him to warp. The reason why you enter that room quickly is to mark that room as visited, which means that you can warp to it later, which saves a lot of backtracking in the long run. And after defeating Frida, there was one thing that they picked up. They grabbed a karst crest fragment. In this round, you need the four karst crest fragments in order to open up a path to the castle. And each fragment gives you a power. The one from Frida allows you to charge up your arrows faster. The one that they are going for now allows you to warp between save points. And there will be 2 more, and we'll get to them when we get to them. It's a nice little backtrack here towards the start of the game. Not a lot of enemies in the way, so it's pretty calm path for the most part. There is that one mini boss fight in the middle, but because of the sparse thread, like the sparse thread instantly kills it, or 2 sparse thread kills it, and they are really fast to use, so that boss fight is barely a thing, and it will show up on Nyaki's screen in a little bit here.
Yeah, the soldier like is a blink and you'll miss it in this category, and on most categories really, because it has 40 health and the 2 sparse threads does 40 damage, so it's like perfect. It's like meant for that.
Here we go on Nyaki's screen. The soldier spawns and the soldier is dead. That's how it goes. Now Sebk has grabbed the warp fragment and warps to that bell I mentioned earlier, and is now going towards Arsonist and the 3rd crest fragment. This area, Cinder Chambers, has lots and lots of fire theme to it. It's a lovely place. Definitely not evil at all or anything. Just a cozy little place. But Arsonist that is coming up is one of the trickier bosses to handle. She has a lot of health, so like the boss fight will take a while, which means that you have more chances or more opportunities to make mistakes, and you really want the item from this boss.
Yeah, this is one of the best items in the game, so like if you miss it, it's much harder to play the rest of the game without it.
Yeah. Like, Arsonist spawns partially damaged, and even after using all the Bachman patch and the sparse thread, Arsonist still has like half health left.
Yeah, she has like the highest health in the game, like, and it starts kind of damaged, but even then it's like still pretty much more than any like single phase in any other fight.
Sebk has a good ending here. You want to be as close to the right as possible, because that is where you want to go afterwards. And you also want to be close to where the boss dies, because to pick up the item, and close to where Kath is, the knight who helped you in that fight, because she wants to talk to you. So after that fight you get the Pocket Incensory, which adds a flame effect to your attacks. It works on your melee hits, on your arrows, and also on the Bachman patch. And the effect is that the Bachman patch does like 4 times the damage now than it did before, or something like that. And it turns from a nice damage increase to a boss killer.
Yeah, it's technically double because they originally do half a damage, and then this adds another half damage for each patch. But I mean, it's like still a lot. Like, it's hard to see how many actually hit.
Yeah, and as you might have noticed on Seb's stream here, is that you can now dash in the air. That is the 3rd crest fragment. It allows you to do an air dash, which is a really good tool for mobility and survivability as well. It's probably my favorite crest fragment. It makes movement feel so nice. And here's another blink and you'll miss it boss. Fennel is a beloved boss, but in the speedrun, she dies.
Yeah, she just evaporates to the Bachman patch. And it's such a shame because that's like one of the best tracks in the game, music-wise, and you just don't hear it at all in the speedrun.
Nyaki got the Arsonist on the first try, it seems. I wasn't paying too much attention. That means that she also has the Pocket Incensory and the Air Dash. And Seb picked up the 4th crest fragment, which allows you to charge your arrows even further. So if you charge them for a long time, you get a massively damaging arrow attack from that. And also the Tainted Missive from Fennel, which is like the Crystal Seed, an item that increases your damage for a short while, But this one is stronger, it doubles your damage for a short while, but it costs 25% of your max health to use. It can kill you, so you want to be careful when you use it. And here we have one of the best areas in the game, Royal Pinacoteca. It has some really nice platforming, lots of verticality to it, and lots of enemies to dodge. You need to switch from cat form to human form a couple of times. And you also need to do this little detour that Seb just did to grab the sealed wind. We need that in this game in order to unlock the true ending, which is sort of like the only end. There are two endings in the game, like the bad ending and the true ending. The bad ending does not have credits to it, so we require the true endings for runs of this game. So that item is needed for that. Oh,
And
Seb.
notably, Seb just skipped the save point on this fight, so hopefully he doesn't take any damage or die.
Yeah, this fight is one that is not super consistent. It is pretty consistent, but things can go wrong if you're not prepared for it.
It's like the hard. And see, I already took a hit, so just gonna have to play without the item here.
Yeah.
It's probably the hardest boss in the game, just generally.
Yeah, a lot of bosses are pretty easy once you learn them. Some of them, like that one, Looper and Magnolia, the one that Sebk just did, and then Frida can be a bit tricky to do fast, and Arsonist. Most of the other bosses are pretty easy or die quickly, so you don't have to do as much.
And yeah, notably how that'll change his run is that he won't have the heavy arrows, which give double damage to all arrows, and that stacks with the Tainted Missive. So it's actually one of the best, combo items for the Queen fight. So his Queen fight might just be a lot slower because of that.
Yeah, Nyaki is not super far behind, entering the Royal Pinacoteca, doing the platforming to get the sealed wind as Sebk does the backtracking in order to use the sealed wind. You can use it in a room here to activate this windmill and open up a kitty door. And inside the door you can bathe your leaf in some hibisco tea, and that turns it from red to green and gives it more sacred curse or corruption cleansing power, which is needed to stop whatever is happening in this country here. Nyaki got hit near the end of the Royal Pinacoteca segment, but takes the safety save and prepares for the Lupian Magnolia fight as Seb goes for the final stretch of the game, the Karst Castle. This might be the final stretch of the game, but for me personally, I think it's kinda chill because in the main path you have to take, there aren't a lot of enemies and it's mostly chill platforming, which is nice to have.
It looks like Nyaki's getting a little bit unlucky. Oh no, and took a hit.
Yeah, she
got
got
bad rolls there.
Yeah, Lupiar has a similar role as the player character, which she can use to try and dodge her attacks. And she can dodge out of your Bachman patches if you are unlucky, so you need to adapt how you and when you use your sparse threads for that.
It looks like Seb got a really unlucky clone angel there. It can spawn kind of anywhere in there. Not quite anywhere, but it can spawn like pretty much the whole range, and that was the farthest it possibly could have been.
I feel like there are 3 possible spots. Oh, Nyaki dies to Lupiar again. Another reset there, which is unfortunate. It is not the worst run back, but it is not super close either.
Yeah, it's not the best either. You have to go and hit that lever every single time, or shoot the lever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
One thing you will see is that Nyaki will use the Bachman patch before starting the boss, and then cancel the boss intro cutscene by pausing and unpausing, and then using the second one. That sets up the fight quite well. Oh, there she goes. She got the loop year segment very nicely. And
yeah, hopefully, yeah, okay, good. Sometimes you can accidentally take a hit there at Magnolia, and it's like the worst. So, but she did it. She got through it.
And Seb is on the second phase of Queen. Had to do some backup strats for that because lacking some damage due to not having the heavy arrows from Lupier and Magnolia.
Yeah, and we'll
But
see if he can handle this third phase, because I think he used up a lot of the items here, so he's gonna have to do a little bit more than he would have to previously.
yeah, usually the Queen would be dead by now, but the damage is still enough to kill her, kill the Queen before she can do anything that is super dangerous. That means that Seb wins the first race here, but luckily this is a best of 3, so we will have at least one more. Nyaki doing some lovely warping there. And going for the upgraded green leaf.
But yeah, 23:49 for Seb. That's a really good time.
Oh yeah, 23:49 is a good time. Sub 30 minutes in this game is a solid time. Anything lower than that, and you're getting pretty good at the game. For people learning this game, we usually consider it like, okay, you're learning, and then once you get around sub 30 minutes, that means that you basically know the run, and we consider that to be, the first test for a runner of this game. The world record for this particular category that is being run is 21 minutes flat, which is an incredibly good time by Heyo. But like anything beneath a 25 is a good time, and the sub 24, that's a really nice time, especially in an environment like this, a tournament match where you can't really reset. If things go wrong, you just have to keep going.
Yeah, and that was a 23:49 with like a few deaths in there too, so like,
Yeah, no heavy arrows.
yeah, no heavy arrows too.
A reset on Frida, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Guess we'll see how lucky Nyaki gets here with the Clone Angel.
Alright, now I noticed what feels so odd. There is no music in Nyaki's game.
Yeah.
That was... there was something that felt a bit odd here, but okay, that explains it. Yeah, the Clone Angel fight, you are meant to look at like the attacks that are thrown out to see which is the real one, because there is one real, and then I think it starts with one fake and then goes up to 2 or 3 fakes. But in the speedrun, you can actually look at which... Nyaki takes a death in the final elevator, which is very unfortunate. But you can look at which Clone Angel is hovering closest to the ground. There is some unintentional feature here that makes it so that the Clone Angel spawns closer to the ground, and every fake one spawns a bit higher. So if you can see multiple on screen at the same time, it can be easy to tell. Unfortunately, it takes a hit, so have to wait for the next cycle. And it does not have enough damage because only one of the sparse threads hit.
Oh no, and seems like she... Oh no, and took a death even too, though. That's really unfortunate. Hey, that's kind of... When you miss that when you miss the kill in the first phase there, it can be a little bit daunting to, go back and find the right one.
Yeah. But if you manage to find the correct one, then it's just 2 sparse threads and 2 hits, like a 1-2 melee combo, and it is dead. Nyaki is going through this area again and falls into spikes. Spikes are lethal and very rude.
Yeah, very, very rude. I like to call this area the gauntlet because it like for me it just like always it's like the run killer for me. Like I've gotten personal bests that are like so close to being world record for some categories and then nope, lost it right at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also when nerves would really start kicking in for me, because yeah, you are, if you have a good pace, you get to, well, almost the end of the run, and then you have to make it through these final few rooms that has quite a few enemies. This is actually the part of the Karth castle that is actually dangerous in compared to the first part, like before you fight the clone angel. And then you have those small platforms and this elevator ride, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's an
And
area where you
there's not a
can make
save
mistakes.
except for right before the clone angel, so every time you die you have to repeat that little mini boss, which is really annoying.
Oh, did not take the elevator back down. If you accidentally activate the elevator and send it back down, you are forced to ride it all the way down. You cannot jump off from a moving elevator in this game. But she avoided that very nicely and goes into the queen fight.
And we didn't really talk about this with Seb, because we were busy talking about Nyaki's screen. But the queen fight has 3 phases. Each phase has like slight strats, and they get handled a little bit differently. And it looks like she missed a little bit of damage there, because usually that first one would kill. But that was a good, clean first 2 phases there.
And just the final phase left. One thing that is really good about the queen fight is that she starts each phase with the same attack. And if you do the correct, or do the strats correctly, that will always kill her and bring her to the next fight. So it's a very consistent fight if you know what to do, which is very nice when it comes to the end of the game like this. And
Yeah. And
that was
GG.
a 31-minute time for Nyaki, which is nice. And we'll set up for a second race shortly after a quick break. Or I know that Seb said that he was going to take a quick break. So yeah, this is a good time to, stretch a little bit, refill your water bottle, maybe go to the bathroom, and yeah, you even ask questions. 'Cause now I can actually focus on or read the Twitch chat more. Yeah, I agree. Queen, like boss fights without music in this game feels so, it feels unnerving.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh no! Credits roll without music. This no. This is worse. Oh, I hear the music playing in my head because I've been through this sequence so many times, but not this time. It's an interesting little thing. But yeah, it does. Playing without music does make it easier to hear sound cues if you're listening to them for them and whatnot. So it is not the worst idea. Ah.
So now that we're out of this first match, what do you want to see, I guess, different maybe? or maybe improved upon? What would you like to see, like, each player, I guess,
I mean,
maybe not improve, but like get lucky, or
I mean, I want to see a third if like 3 races in total, but if it feels like if I want to see 3 races, I kind of have to wish for Seb to do poorly, and that doesn't. That's not the best as a commentator to actively commentators curse someone. But I would just like to see. I mean, oh yeah, I want to see a dive at least. I mean, now I'm commentators cursing on purpose, but I want to see a dive.
Yeah, I think Nyaki got a few dives, or at least on the. I remember a dive on Lubella too, but I don't think Seb did, so a little unfortunate there. But going into they were pretty close. I mean, for most of that, like the death
Mm.
that Seb took in the against Frida made it so that they entered the boss fight, or at least were in the boss fight at the same time. So it was fairly close in the early game.
Yeah, and then uh, it was pretty. They were pretty close there for a while. Uh, so if Nyaki did not have to reset the Lubella fight, it would have been even closer. And then later on, did Nyaki reset the arsonist fight or
No,
why?
she did Arsonist's first attempt, but she did reset on Lupiar
Right,
twice,
right.
right? No, or maybe it was
Ah,
just once.
not twice. She got hit once, and then there was a mutual KO the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got it on the third try and grabbed the heavy arrows.
Yeah. And then, of course, looked like she was struggling with some nerves right at the end there and got some unfortunate deaths.
Seems like at least TNT is also wishing for dives. Libella deserves to have some fun too. Are we sure about that? I mean, it looks like she has plenty of fun with how much she's laughing inside of the boss fights. So I don't
I
think we
think
need.
I think she should
Yeah,
dive to whoever's in the lead and then not
yeah,
dive to
yeah.
whoever's not
Uh,
in the lead, just in general.
Yeah, what? Can we mod that in?
Yeah,
Libella
set
always
patterns for
dives.
Lubella, so she always dives for the person in the lead.
Oh my cursed unlucky Momodora mod. The bosses always do the worst thing. Frida also has an attack you do not want to see, where she disappears and teleports and reappears where you used to be when she started the ability. So that is another ability where you can't attack the boss and losing out on damage. So that's another thing you don't want to see, but maybe we should wish that on the on the leader as well.
I feel like that one's rarer, but yeah, we should wish it on the leader as well, I think. I'm
And
not sure what all the RNG is, but for some reason Frida just seems to not do that attack very much.
it depends. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes she does it, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she does it like 3 times in a row, and you're just left wondering, like, okay, so are you going to let me attack you? Thank you.
Yeah, it's like either 0 times or she does the same attack 3 times, or like she does it like 3 times in a row, I feel. I don't know why.
All right, we should be getting ready for a second race real soon. Okay, we are not ready quite yet. Uh, Sab is still busy busy with a break, I guess. Thank you for playing in screen feed. Oh, right, both of them are at on the thank you for playing screen.
Yep.
Ah.
See it in beautiful VR, just like you're really right there in the room looking at a
Ah,
screen.
it. I always get so happy when I see this part of the credits. It says thank you for playing, thank you for making this game. It is a lovely game. Like I highly recommend just playing this for like anyone who is vaguely interested in the 2D action games. It's a short game. It takes 2 to 4 hours depending on how fast you play. It's just a short
Yeah.
and sweet adventure game.
Especially if you like the art style. Like, if you like the art style, then you're gonna like the game, I think.
Yeah, and you get to be a cat. Like what what else is there to ask for in a game, you know? Being a cat, like that's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we count the victories in cats, as you can see on the tournament layout. But yeah, with that said, I am going to take my own advice and go refill my water bottle. So I will be right back. I am now very ready for another race. But I don't think our racers are quite ready yet.
Yeah.
But
Still waiting for, I don't know, I guess some stuff to be taken care of.
indeed.
It's okay. That's just kind of how this one's gonna go, I think, just in general. We're kind of trying to handle most of the stuff by ourselves, so if there's like any audio issues, feel free to let us know in the chat. I'll try and get them fixed or balanced properly.
Oh, yeah, so the category we are running here at uh, in this tournament is normal any percent legacy route. It is, well, an any percent category, so you just want to finish the game as quick as possible, or in this case, get the true ending, because that's what we consider it to be. But it's also using the legacy route restrictions. That is because during the tasking of this game, there were some neat tricks that were discovered. Some of them are not really human viable. Human possible, probably, maybe, but human viable, not so much. But some other tricks were definitely human viable, and one of them is the transformation delay, which allows you to delay how long it takes for you to transform from human to cat form and vice versa, and allow you to move before that transformation happens. And one thing you can do with that is transform from cat to human and get stuck in certain places because the human form is bigger than the cat form. And due to how the game works, if you get stuck in a wall, it pushes you to the right until you're outside of that wall or ceiling. And that allows you to clip through some things, which is a neat addition or neat glitch that was found. But it is not allowed in this category. Then we have, so this is basically the normal, the standard category, the normal
Yeah, the
category, the
glitch
one that
list.
most, the category that most people run. We have another version of any percent, which allows you to use the transformation delay and whatnot, and one any percent everything goes, where you can try and pull off everything that is done in the task, but I mean it's not, there's not really that much interest for it, so no one has done a run of that. But more interestingly, we have the three other main, well, I'm not sure if we can call them main runs, but the three other run types that are sort of big. We have New Game Plus, where you start the game from the beginning, but you have all, well, all the items you want, which makes boss fights completely different because there are some items that are not really feasible to grab in the any percent speedrun, but they are very powerful and helps a lot with the New Game Plus route. So that one is a lot of optimized movement, and the boss fights are even faster than in the base or in the any percent run, which is neat. And then uh, if you want a category that is like, if you feel like these categories are too short, then there is AVIB, all vitality fragments, ivory bugs, and bosses, where you do everything you do in this category that we're running right here. And you also have to grab all the vitality fragments, all the health upgrades, and collect the 20 ivory bugs that are hidden throughout the world, and fight all bosses, because there is an optional boss that we do not see here in this category, and that one also needs to be defeated for that category. And finally, one of the most interesting categories is the low percent category, where you're not allowed to pick up any items or power ups unless it is strictly necessary to get the true ending of the game. And running that on the game's insane difficulty, where you have one health, so any damage you take will kill you, makes for a very interesting and fun challenge. And just speedrunning that is a great time. Can highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'd recommend like if you were like a completely new player and you're like, I don't really know what category I should do. I think low percent easy is like the easiest category to get into and to like learn the basics. But if you're like more experienced, it's not really the most interesting to like continually grind out. And then if you transition to insane, then that's like way more punishing. So every hit you take kills you.
Yeah, because on low percent easy, you can almost ignore any boss mechanics and basically just stand and attack until the boss dies, because you will have enough health to survive, and the boss will die before that for the most of the time, which makes it easy to get into, but not as interesting to play a lot of.
Mm-hmm. And like just for beginners, like sometimes the hard part for like an any percent run is just like being able to do the fights without taking any damage, because that's like kind of just a requirement of any percent if you want to get like a faster time. And so
Mm.
yeah, the low percent easy is like kind of nice because you don't have to worry about that right away.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of the best parts about low percent is you don't really have to do any menuing to equip or unequip items, which is very relaxing when running it. Because if you want to be fast, you have to do the menuing quickly, and doing the menuing quickly is a thing you need to practice in order to nail it down, because it's not trivial. You can lose you can easily lose several seconds if you make one mistake during like a place where you need to change an item, and then you need to go and fix that. That will cost you several seconds for one mistake. And it's like a small mistake to make, like you miss one input and equip the wrong item, but then you have to fix that, and that costs even more time. And then it will probably shuffle around like what order your items are in, which means that it will be you have to keep that in mind when you need to change items the next time.
Yep, it
Yeah.
changes everything. If you mess up once, everything after it gets messed up too. You can't just like memorize the inputs if you make a mistake. I guess there's also like another category that isn't really run, but that's all achievements, and that one's pretty brutal.
Yeah, there is. It was mostly a theoretical, like, can this be done in a run to get all the Steam achievements in one run? And I am the only one who have a uploaded run of it. It is indeed a challenge, because the two tricky things are it's a playing the game, or there are three things that make it very tricky. You have to play the game on insane, you cannot die, and you cannot kill normal enemies, which makes some screens, especially the early part of the game, really annoying to get through.
Yeah, especially if you want to do it like cleanly, because if you take a death, you could always quit instead of retrying, because that doesn't count technically for the
Yeah,
achievement. But it's still like
yeah.
you have to redo that whole section.
And then you have to visit the entire map, which is pretty neat. It's not done in any other category. Uh, and you also, because of like you grab all the ivory bugs and you also turn them in, which means that you can get some different items. And I think we are just about ready to start. There seemed to be some. Seb seemed to have.
You have some kind of real life issues happening in the background, unfortunately, but it seems like it'll be all good. Nothing too serious, hopefully.
It seems like Nyaki might have taken a small. Okay, no, there we are. We are. They are ready. They are going to start the second race here. So, yeah, if you have tuned out, I'm now sounding more excited. That's because the second race is about to start. So it means it's time to come back and watch some more epic Momo gaming. Ah, so yeah, what were our wishes? Oh yeah, wishes for dives and teleports for the leader. That's what we want to see here.
Yep. Make it more difficult for the person in who's in the lead, so that'd be Seb.
All right, here we have him setting up for the start of the run. Playing on normal difficulty. I'm not sure. I guess Nyaki is playing on a controller and Seb is playing on keyboard. Just from the looks of it.
I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't see which screen they were on.
I'm just looking at the button prompts here. So yeah, you can play this game on keyboard or controller. Both work really well. I personally play on keyboard. I started playing on controller because the roll I felt that the roll jumps were easier to do on keyboard rather than controller. Yes, that's the correct peripherals in correct order there.
I just prefer keyboard, so I kind of just always ran it with keyboard.
Yeah, we're back in the Grove here. The Grove is a really calm area. Like the music is really smooth and soothing, and the imps are cute and stuff. I love the Grove. People who play on insane difficulty. Well, I am one of them, but on insane difficulty there are even more enemies around here, because it's not enough that you only have one health. There are also more enemies for you to deal with, which makes the Grove a really reset-heavy area to get through when playing on insane.
Yeah, it's like it's basically you take a hit and you go back to the beginning, rinse and repeat until you can successfully do it without taking a hit.
Yeah, sometimes you get sessions where you don't get a single run going because it's just the imps don't want to let you pass. And
Yeah.
that's also because the imp behavior is not set. Like they have some randomness to their behavior, like how they are jumping, when they are some of them like when they're attacking, how fast they're going. Like they can be a pain to deal with.
They're one of the worst enemies, if not the worst enemy, in terms of just like what they can do.
Yeah, imps and bats are the hard enemies to deal with in the speedrun, which is pretty nice because that puts most of the randomness in platforming early on in the run, so that if you get through it, you don't have to deal with platforming randomness for the rest of the run, basically, which is nice.
Okay,
But
so
there's
got
still
a little unlucky there for Seb.
Nyaki did not get the quick kill. Seb did get the quick kill. One thing Edia can do instead of doing that lunge attack that you punish for the quick kill is that she can decide to dance and just walk around a bit. But there, Nyaki brings Edia down the good old reliable way. It is very safe to just stand next to Edia and crouch, because that means that her attacks will miss you. It's a very useful spot. And that's another thing that's good for, when you're starting out and for new players, is that just crouch in front of her and she can't do anything to you.
Yeah, so that gives our lead to Seb, who gets like a few seconds faster, like 20 seconds or something, giving a lead going into Lubella.
Mocha also behaves basically like an imp in that he jumps around a bit randomly, which is why we try to use sets of 2 melee hits. Like you can do a combo of 3 melee hits in a row, but if you do just the 2 first melee hits, you can basically stun Mocha and keep him in a corner, which is very useful, because otherwise Mocha can be quite unpredictable. Let's see if we can get that dive. Lubella, it's beach time. The weather is perfect.
Yeah, she didn't do it.
Ah. Oh well, there is always beach next year.
Nyaki took a hit there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, she got hit by Mocha. Mocha, we often call Mocha the big bully because yeah, Mocha can be a big bully.
Yeah, it's like you have to do like the exact, like you have to do 2 hits. If you do the 3rd hit, sometimes you go too far to the left and you get poisoned, which is annoying.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
another
he can be a
thing.
little hard thing to handle.
Yeah, with a DS Pearl, you can poison yourself because where your arrows collide, they will spawn a poison cloud. And if you stand in it, you will poison yourself, which is something you definitely want to avoid in a speedrun. Alright, now Nyaki is here on Lubella, and we do not want Lubella to die now.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
she did a laugh instead, so
yeah,
that's
she
okay.
was having fun. As she didn't need to dive to have fun. She was just laughing instead. And yeah, now it's time for more of the underwater platforming. As I said in the first round, you want to be on the ground and rolling as much as possible because swimming is slow, rolling is still the same speed as rolling outside of water. So it is the best way to make this area go fast.
And there are some risky roll jumps you can go for in this area that kind of like, if you miss the roll jump, you sometimes roll into spikes, but it saves like, a little bit of time. And that's one of them there, right there that Seb just did. That one's much safer, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Up
didn't
to
even
not.
save there even, too.
Oh, 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 if Seb has issues at 3, then this might go the other.
And that is
Nyaki's.
notably where he died last time, or took a hit, at least.
Mm-hmm. Nyaki's stream seems to be frozen. Hopefully it will fix itself shortly and nothing weird has happened.
Yeah, hopefully. Sometimes it just happens from the
It seems.
restream.
Yeah, I think Nyaki's Twitch stream might have disconnected entirely. It should be back soon, I think.
Yeah, hopefully.
There it is. Perfect. She is a bit behind Seb. Let's see if Seb can do the Frida fight. If Seb resets here, that would be a big time loss.
I mean, he's pretty... Well, I guess he could take a hit. This is one of the first fights.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
He died. He got picked. And now he goes back to after Lubella won. The
I
first
mean,
Lubella fight. That's
that...
what happens if you don't take the safety save. So now Nyaki is in the lead, actually.
Yep. Hopefully she can get a good lead here and get a good fight.
Yeah,
That'll help in later sections if she has this lead going forward.
Yeah, and we saw in the last round that Nyaki opts for the safer Frida strat with sitting in a corner and shooting arrows. And if she does that this time as well, it should go smoothly and will maintain her lead. Because the worst thing about dying like Seb did is that he now has to sit through the dialogue with Princess Eri again. And I don't mind doing the platforming again, but sitting through that cutscene, that's the worst part of dying there.
Yeah, it is pretty painful to just like know you messed up and you have to watch it a second time.
And there we have the big laser attack. Frida gathers energy, and you can get in some free melee hits because, yeah, he's just standing there.
And did it
Ooh,
again, so a little bit unlucky.
That's actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, I guess it's
well,
good because it forces you left anyway.
Yeah, it's good because you get to do more damage with melee hits. I think that is a lot, like saves time.
Especially when it's right at the end there, because then you can pick up the item. And yeah, he didn't save again, right?
Oh, Seb is living dangerously here. Oh yeah, oh, Nyaki had an unfortunate there with the Bachman not throwing the bomb far enough to destroy the wall. Decides to punch the Bachman a few times so that the next bomb will definitely reach. One thing, oh, well, like the art in this game is really nice, and one of my favorite animations is whenever you pick up a vitality fragment or one of the crest fragments, is that Kaho, like the player character. I don't think we have mentioned her name in this commentary, but she does a small little pirouette whenever she picks up items, and it's really nice. And if Seb defeats Frida this time, we will be able to see that when he grabs the crest fragment.
Okay, he handled the dogs a lot better this time, so he's not gonna die to them.
There we saw the teleport. Frida just phases out of oh,
Ooh.
double?
That's what I mean. It's like 0 times or
Mhm.
multiple times in a row.
I mean, I guess we did want to see the teleport, but we wanted to see it for the person in lead.
That's true. Well, he's still
But,
technically in the lead. He's got a
yeah,
match left.
yeah, he, one lap ahead or one win ahead.
And Nyaki
And,
just got a dive, so it's sort of even.
mm, it's very like Lubella diving is very frustrating because yeah, she just disappears and you can't really damage her. And
Yeah, unless you keep a Bachman patch. That's like one of the few things that can damage her there.
but she handles the fight nicely, and she gets to turn into a cat. As Seb is trying to catch up, and he is soon in the White Leaf Memorial Park where the Lubella 2 fight happens. Oh, oh, Catworm. The, one of the best parts of this game. There are a lot of things to love about this game. The nice art style, you can be a cat, the chill atmosphere, the nice music, the cool boss fights. It's just a very well crafted game.
Yeah, it's just like a very cute and I don't know, just friendly game, I think. Even though it's not like I don't know if friendly's the right term, but I don't know, I guess that's how it feels to me.
Yeah, it's a very cozy game. I'm like every time I come back to run this game or play it, it's just so cozy. Seb did get a dive again, or
Yeah,
again
Sebk got a
instead.
dive as well, so they're even on dives for Lubella 2 for this round.
Yeah, but Seb is leading in Frida teleports.
Yep. We didn't mention it, but there's like a little slight thing that they can do that because of this version changing you into a human, you can like immediately turn back into a cat. Looks like neither of them are going for it though. It's only like, less than a second of time save anyway, so it's not like a big deal.
Alright, one thing with the... Okay, Nyaki want to get to the save point there. You can take that save point for safety, but it's mostly the night, or... Like, there are not a lot of enemies on the way to the next save point, so... You
Yeah,
might as
she
well
has enough
skip it.
health, she's fine.
Yeah. The night fight is... that's not a fight. You don't take damage from the knight, but you might mess up and take a hit in the platforming.
I mean, I guess if you really just missed the sparse threads completely, you'd have to fight it, and maybe some players, like maybe if you're not ready for that, you mess up more often. But it's pretty generous on the sparse thread hitbox.
Yeah. And there are ways to do that fight without like you can easily keep the soldier or the knight unlocked if you know what you're doing without any items. But that does require knowledge from low percent.
Yeah, that's
Which
the only category that fights him.
yeah, AVIP and the no major skips route does the goes a different route than this one, and does bosses in a different order. So after you fight Lubella for the first time, you go and fight that knight, which means you don't have the sparse thread, but you use the Bachman patch instead and some melee hits for that. And Nyaki making her way through Resile in order to get the warp fragment. As Seb dispatches the knight, and he is on his way to get that warp fragment as well. And he's trying to catch up to Nyaki.
Yep.
We
This is definitely the most platform-heavy section of the game. Like it's mostly just like running back and forth because you have to go grab that teleport fragment. And it does seem like Seb is just a little bit better at the platforming, so he's making up a little time here and there.
Yeah, and Nyaki is on her way to Arsonist. There are some explosive barrels inside of the Arsonist boss arena, and you have to be careful so you don't get hit by their explosions. You can see them, right at the edge of Nyaki's screen right now. But you can also use them to damage the boss a little bit if you use them correctly.
Yeah, they're really they're like the most useful part of the fight too, because it resets the timer on the stagger, so you're like always guaranteed a stagger after they hit. Or it's like a separate stagger. It's like a weird thing, but you always are guaranteed a free stagger after it.
And Nyaki was really close to getting hit there. She rolled through one of the orbs that Arsonist threw out, and rolled into another one, but it had faded out just in time so that she did not get hit. She doesn't even flinch when Arsonist
Yeah, I thought she was a
switched.
little far to the left, but no, she was
No,
like
no, no.
perfect.
She knew the exact range of that attack. Yes, nope, not gonna hit. I'm just gonna shoot my arrows here. And Mace, he gets through the Arsonist fight in one attempt. It's really nice. And gets the air dash fragment as Seb enters the Arsonist fight.
So Seb did seem to pick up some time, because I think he lost a little bit more than what he has currently and is behind. So he's doing his best to catch up here.
Yeah. Clean Arsonist fight so far. Good positioning here. Not the best, but really good. And
Yeah, sometimes you just can't always get her to move further to the right like you want her to. Preferably, we'd always want her to be right next to the door, with Cap also being right next to the door. But it's really hard to do that consistently.
And Nyaki has the monastery key and goes up to fight Fennel. Seb has the defeated Arsonist, grabbed the pocket incensory and the air dash fragment, and he's just going to grab the key to fight Fennel. Oh, Nyaki touches spikes. Not optimal.
Oh no!
Oh no. He did not save at all after fighting Arsonist. That is very unfortunate, because that was a really solid run up until that point.
Yeah, that was really good, and then I thought she picked up one of the bells, but I guess not.
Yeah,
That's so unfortunate.
yeah, the same thing has happened to me. I was overconfident when I ran. I think it was easy difficulty one of my first times, or like one time, and was just, I don't need save points after Arsonist. I can save before Fennel because that's the only time something will be difficult or might kill me. And then I die right where Nyaki died, and like, okay, this is a big time loss. I'm not doing that again, and I've made sure to save at least once after Arsonist ever since.
Yeah, it can be rough when that happens. I probably oversave, but I play like insane most of the time, so Like anything can kill me on that difficulty, so I don't feel as bad saving.
Yeah. Yeah, Seb gets through Fennel smoothly. Nyaki did Arsonist a second time, or a third time. This is this 2 times this race, one time the first race. Now for yeah, the Royal Pinacoteca. It has such nice music. Definitely one of my favorite tracks to get to when I'm playing this game. Like first, I really like the Grove. It's calm and nice, good start. But then you get here and you just, oh yeah, this is the stuff. And you start to feel really good about your run because you have made it pretty far in a run. When you get to Pinacoteca, not a lot left. 2 more bosses only, actually.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a fun place to do fast too, because like all the cycles work out when you do it well.
Question is, has Nyaki saved after Arsonist this time?
I'm not sure
I
she
don't.
did. I didn't see the save right before she warped though.
Yeah. See, jump, no spikes. May takes it safe and gets the Fennel save. Okay. She is in the clear as she enters the Fennel boss fight.
And Seb's skipping the save again for Lupiar, so hopefully he can actually get through it. Last time he took a hit, but he didn't die, which is still good.
I mean, if he dies here, then that would mean he would be sent back quite a bit.
Yeah, he'd be basically even with Nyaki again.
That would be a shame. A real shame.
He gets a really, really good Lupiar though.
Yeah. And Magnolia is... Yeah, she dies really quickly.
She can still like hit you if you manage to or if you don't have the tainted missive damage bonus going, and she actually gets to the next phase. So she can be kind of annoying, but she's not nearly as bad as Lupiar.
Indeed. One of the things that makes Lupiar so tricky is that she is heavily armored and can't be hit by arrows. So you can't just sit in a corner and shoot arrows if you miss your other attacks. You have to actually get in there and fight her. And yeah, learning how to fight Lupiar in melee and stuff is not an easy thing.
Yeah, it takes a lot of it takes a lot of practice to know exactly where you need to stand for meleeing her, because she can do a few different things and you don't want to get hit at all. So it's annoying to fight with melees.
Yeah, it is annoying, but it also makes the low percent category really fun when you actually learn how to do Lupiar well and can get through it. It's still very difficult, especially on insane difficulty, but it's a really good fight.
Yeah, skipping. It's definitely the hardest fight in low percent, especially if you skip the. Because usually for low percent, you change your routing and you go get the leaf upgrade as soon as possible because it gives you a little bit extra damage on your melee. But if you skip that and you just fight with red leaf, then it takes twice as long to fight, just in terms of melee hits. So it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I've never done that fight without the green leaf in low percent because it seems unnecessarily difficult. Ooh, Nyaki blowing up Lupiar right before she rolls into Kaho.
Yeah, that was a good timing. And yeah, that was good Magnolia too, so.
Gets the heavy arrows once again as Seb is going to fight the Clone Angel. So yeah, if they spawn like the real one and the clone, the fake spawns near each other, if you look closely, you could see that the real one was slightly closer to the ground. It's not the easiest thing to see, especially when you don't have a lot of time. But I promise you, it is a thing for some reason, and as a speedrunner, I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, it definitely would be a lot worse if you just had to sit there or guess.
Yeah,
That would be the worst, guessing.
guessing wrong and getting the punishment fish from the sky. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, Seb makes his way through the elevator of, well, final gauntlet elevator, and it's time for the queen fight.
And the nice thing about once you get to the queen fight is that you know exactly what's going to happen, so there's no more RNG.
It is
Really.
just execution. A lovely first phase from Seb. Lovely second phase. Now just the final phase left here for Seb. As Nyaki upgrades her leaf from red to green, because as we all know, Luigi is better than Mario, green is better than red. It's just simple fact.
Right, so it looks like Seb's using even with the heavy arrows, he's using the previous strat, which is not quite the fastest strat on this version, but still very well executed, so GG.
Yeah, GG to Seb. A time of 25:38 is still a solid time as Nyaki prepares to go through the castle one last time. But yeah, this means that Seb is the winner of this match and will advance to the next round of the tournament. But Nyaki is still in the tournament. We are doing a double elimination bracket, so Nyaki will be sent to the bracket of alternate success. And if she plays well there, she can advance and rejoin the normal bracket or end up in the finals.
Yep,
So there
end
is
up
one more
right for
chance to.
that final spot. And let's hope that she gets through this section, because I know she struggled really hard with it the first run here. So hopefully nothing in this gauntlet area is gonna cause issues.
I'll also see if we can get Seb in for some post-race interviews. Nyaki is. Oh yeah, she is in the elevator where she did have an unfortunate death last run. Let's see if she can get through it this time. Okay. Now she has to be careful about the elevator. Okay, it did not take the elevator down. That is very important.
Oh, looks like a really unfortunate time to get some restreaming issues, it seems like.
It is indeed. Well, hopefully it will resume in the middle or, well, hopefully before. Oh, okay, perfect. Right at the start of the queen fight. That is what we want to see.
Oh, it looks like she got a little bit unlucky with the start, so hopefully she doesn't lose her tainted missive in phase 2. She did lose it just now, but she has the sparse thread to finish it off. And I think she previously did the newer strat for 107 on phase 3. So it should just be 2 level 3 arrows, and then as many melees as you can fit in, and that should kill.
And there we have it. GG. Time of 28:51 or slightly faster because I think the auto splitter might not have been active for that. And here we have him. Seb, congratulations on your victory.
pain.
Uh,
The pain. Thank you for the congrats.
yeah, it doesn't sound like you're all too happy with your runs.
Did you see those Fridas?
Yes, yes, we did indeed see them.
Okay, the first one I deserved it. The second I felt robbed.
Yeah, the Frida here in the second match. What happened there? Like you got hit by the peck while you were behind her or something? It was. I'm not sure
Okay,
exactly how you. Yeah, you.
so this is something that very rarely happens. If you are too close when she retrieves her peck, you get hit anyway.
Uh,
I don't know why it happens. I guess I was just hugging her too much while attacking, and yeah, I got hit. It's still dumb like her, but it is what it is, I guess.
it is what it is. But yeah, the first you still had a nice time the first race. Was it like 23:53 or I?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a that was a solid time.
I think if I don't get hit by the dogs in Frida, it would have been like a 22, 10, 11,
And that's
more
a
or less.
really good time. Yeah, low
It,
22 is a really solid time.
yeah, it would have been really, really nice. I actually got my SOV to 21:47 in the course of the two races. Like, let me see. The first run, it was yeah, taking Frida out of the equation because dumb. It was. I think I did more or less well. The only thing was that cheeky loop your hit I got.
Right. Yeah, you did not get the heavy arrows the first race.
Yeah, but luckily Queen cooperated and on her first phase, so the fight was still okay even without the arrows. So aside from the Frida, I was very happy with the first run.
Nice. And here we also have Nyaki, or GG to you.
Thank you.
Ah, you had a very unfortunate death in the second
I
match.
I like I wasn't winning that. No. I think the first round Seb's run was like faster than my PB by like a minute. So
Mm,
I'd have to play better than I ever have in a tournament setting to win, which that's not happening. Second
yeah.
round, that was doable, but like I died early. I wasn't. So like I wasn't winning that, but oh, it could have been so much closer.
You were
Yeah.
in the lead when you right before you took that death, so you could have. You were doing really well.
Yeah, Seb had.
Really? Wait, okay.
Yes, Seb had a death at Frida, and he did not save. He got sent back to right after Lubella won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
an experience.
Wait. Yeah. Well, my yeah, I felt so frustrated after that because I literally had the thought, oh, I should save here, and then I didn't, and then I died immediately after.
Yeah, I've had the exact same thing happen to me when playing there. Just accidentally dying to spikes there and like realizing, oh, I didn't save after defeating Arsonist. This is a long way back.
And then the first match was just I'm so embarrassed by that ending. I died like what 5 times, and like between Clone Angel and Queen.
It
It's okay. It
happens.
happens.
Yeah.
When
It
you die once,
happens.
it's like, oh gosh, how
It's
do I
true.
recover?
Like that's I don't know why. That's the spot. That's the spot where you die once, you die more than once. Like it doesn't. You don't just die once. So, but GG's though. That was fun. It was good
Yeah,
to
GG.
get to playing the game again after a while of trying on other games.
Yeah, and you will have more games to play as well.
Yes. No more
Yeah.
waiting for like what, 2 months was it? For
Yeah, there were some
match?
unfortunate scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Uh,
fault anyone for the way things went, but
Yeah, things happen, I guess.
Yeah, that means I am up against you now, Seb. We
You're
are.
gonna kick my
oh boy,
butt.
that
No, you had a potential low 22 run. My PB is a high 22, so I think you have a really good shot there.
yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
gonna be a
kick my
run to
butt.
watch.
Yeah, and then Nyaki, you are going to face Leo Caterham in the bracket of alternate success because this is a lovely double elimination bracket.
Yes,
Oh.
thank goodness. It means I get to go and dominate losers. That's what it means.
Ooh, don't be too overconfident now. Frida and Libella, they can smell that and just do
Oh
teleports
boy,
and dives all day long.
it's okay.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna keep working, keep implementing, faster strats. I think my next thing to do should be to try and look to improve my Frida fight because currently it's a little slow.
I mean, it's not too bad. The slow start is safe.
It's safe,
So-
but I wanna get faster.
I mean, just look at me. I died to Frida twice today.
It's true. Of all the fights to take a risk on, Frida is probably one of the less lower because like the closest save point is a ways away.
Yeah. Unless you open the wall early and take that
Right.
save, but that is a time loss just to set that up.
Yeah, that's like it's a
pretty.
decent time loss. I can't
Yeah,
quite put a number to it, but
yeah, it's pretty far from Frida to the nearest bonfire. It's not a Lubella 2 where the save is literally one screen away and nothing in between.
Yeah, I say that's a poor choice of where to put the bonfire. I demand a bell right next to Frida that doesn't require me making redecoration of the stage.
yeah.
Would be very nice.
Oh, well. I feel pretty happy with all of this now. I think seeing some more epic Momo gaming, always a good thing to see.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
want to play.
Oh, that was
I've been wanting to play for a long time now.
that was a great race. So
Yeah. GG, Nyaki. I'll see you soon in the bracket of alternate success. I'll be going down there soon. Don't worry. We'll meet each other again.
Don't underestimate yourself. I mean, you have a better seed than I have.
Yeah, about that.
Oh,
It was. I don't know if the seeding was correct. I feel like I should be like 17 in seed.
it's
I don't
definitely
know about 17.
it is a little interesting actually, like looking at the seeding now because like a lot of people have gotten new PBs since then. So I think it would still be pretty similar if we reseeded it now, but there would definitely be some shifts, especially in the middle.
yeah, because I have gotten 2 PBs on myself in the tournament, so
I think I've gotten what 2 or 3. I think I brought my PB down like almost a full minute over the time that the tournament's been happening. So
that's really solid.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out. I have some commitments. But yeah, GG's. See you all later.
Bye.
Yeah,
GG.
GG's too.
See ya.
Yeah, I think we are, well, unless someone has something they want to add, I think we are pretty done here.
Yeah, just gonna do a shout out to some friends rather in the chat. Grace, thank you for coming. I know you don't play Momodora, but it's always good to see you, and thank you both for commenting. It was an amazing experience as usual. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
And thank you for Speed Gaming for, having all the infrastructure here in place to easily host this. It is such a nice thing to have. Makes things easy and smooth to set up and host a tournament. So yeah, I think well that's it for me at least. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and there will be more races in the future. Yeah, until then, have a great life.